Hello, Bruni. Are you there?
Yeah.
All right. Wonderful. We've got some Miles Davis playing there for you. I know that's been one of the iconic series of portraits of one of the great jazz musicians that you have done to the tune of what, over a couple of
400 and something.
Wow.
I don't know the exact number. 425, 430.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just say for folks who are listening that I've got Bruni Sablan. She's generally known by her first name, Bruni, the iconic painter of master jazz musicians and Brazilian masters, as well as Mother Teresa. And I hope you give us a little story about that. Your work has been hung on the walls of museums in many places, including the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C., and you have been commissioned as the artist of choice for the San Jose Jazz Festival this year.
Yes.
So it's about time.
I don't know what happened. It's usually the same. This is what happens when, in your own hometown.
Yeah.
I've been interviewed in different towns all over the place, but it seems like, here it didn't happen until now. This lovely lady, Holly Wallace, had a lot to do with it. She came in the gallery and she said, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
Why?" And she talked to my manager, Mark, and he said, "Well, they never asked her." And
well, congratulations!
Yes, a long time ago.
Congratulations! You've been doing this work for some 3 decades now in our area, and received many accolades. One such accolade from Nora Viagran: "If jazz had a soul and one could see it, it would look like a Bruni Sablan painting. And like jazz itself, Bruni is all radiance and joy one moment, and then sorrowfully living the blues the next." So you seem to live the life of a musician, and your paintings are so musical. They capture the real essence of the musicians. It's uncanny how you do that with bold paint strokes, rainbow colors. I was in your gallery just a short time ago, and again struck by the brilliance of your work. I've got one of your paintings, the one you did of Maisa. Yeah, Maisa. I got
another
that.
one of my idols.
Yeah, I got that a few years ago when you moved to the Willow Glen Gallery.
Yes.
You were in Campbell for over 10 years, I think. And
11 years.
Started out in Los Gatos. So you've been gracing our area for some 3 decades now.
Yes.
Now tell me.
And I never wanted to move,
Yeah, okay.
You got it.
The life of an artist. Yeah. You remember the garrets of old that generally painters and artists had to inhabit in order to pursue their work.
Yes.
Where at least you are in a prime location now on Lincoln Avenue, on the main drag of Willow Glen, that somewhat high-tone area of San Jose.
I like it. I like it there. It's roomy, and my studio especially is very roomy, and that's what I like. I'm kind of a messy Picasso type painter. I have my studio. I don't know if you ever went in the back. It's I have things thrown all over the place from one end to the other, but nobody else can find them. But it's there, and I go in there and I go in there at night because it's quiet.
Yeah.
And there's no traffic, no people, and I go in my studio and I just stand there and look around, and things start talking to me, believe it or not.
And you listen to the music?
Yeah. There's music on all the time, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily have to be what I'm painting, but there's music on all the time, you know.
Somehow it factors in,
It factors in, yeah. It's either jazz or real good Brazilian, depending on, you know, what I'm into. Right now I'm into Maria Bethânia a lot. I don't know why. It just...
Maria Bethânia, one of my icons.
Oh, God.
Incredible singer. She did an album with Nina Simone. It was...
She did?
Yeah.
I don't have it.
Quite. I think it was actually just one track that she did with her. Fantastic. But tell me, your roots are Brazilian. You were born in Sao Paulo?
Mm-hmm. São Paulo, yeah. City of São Paulo. State of São Paulo.
And what was your early life like there with your parents, your father?
Shangri-La.
Say what?
Shangri-La.
Shangri-La.
Mm-hmm.
So your father
Do I miss it? Ask me.
You do?
Yes.
Even to this day, after you...
Oh, even to this day.
Mm.
And all the colors that people see and get so enchanted by, I grew up with, you know, and I am about Gal Costa's age, Maria Bethânia, and in those days, you know, I mean, São Paulo was beautiful. And my dad was an architect, engineer, and he built a home in Interlagos, you know, where the racing track is, where Ayrton Senna raced. And he was an amateur racer, my dad, and he would take me to that track all the time. But he built a home there, like in the middle of the forest. So
but not only was he an engineer and an architect.
Yeah, an engineer, an architect. He designed and built so many of the buildings in Sao Paulo. I don't know if they're still there.
But he was also a painter, wasn't he?
A hobbyist, yeah. Hobby painter, but...
well, that's what we call an amateur, somebody who loves art and does it for the love of it.
Well, somebody who's willing to give their blood, sweat, tears, and most of their physical health sometimes. It's not what people think it is, Joe. It's... the reason I go in at night is because my body has, you know, I've done over, I think, 10,000, 8,000 paintings. And I have scoliosis, and my body has become very painful.
Yeah.
And arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. So I have to spend the afternoon, you know, kind of taking care and doing whatever stretch exercising I can and relaxing if I can. Yeah. Which I don't always. But then, and I shouldn't paint every night, I'm told, but I do paint every night.
Even on Sundays?
Yeah, oh yeah, there's no Saturdays and Sundays for me, you know?
Yeah.
It's like every day is just a new day, a different day, and
nighttime
miraculous to go in there and create. I'll quote Louise Nevelson, who I don't know if you know, was a great sculptor. And what she said was, I am very disappointed in people and in the world, in human beings, but I have never been disappointed in creativity. And I have to say that I feel the same way. There's never been a day when I did not want to create. Never.
It must be quite a feeling after you finish a canvas. Quite a high.
Yeah, you forget. You go away.
You feel you forget the scoliosis and the pain.
You forget
that
everything.
It brings.
Yeah, sometimes I'm all tied up. with the straps, and, things holding my shoulders up. And so, but yes, you do forget. Yeah, and when I'm through, man, I come home and sometimes it's hard to walk. You know, that's the truth.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not, I don't have any. I like this song by Vinicius called Humble People.
Vinicius Moraes.
Vinicius, yeah, Moraes.
Yeah.
And I identify with that, and I don't have any phony pride, I don't have any. I don't know. I don't play games, and I just read something about Maria Bethany where she says, "I don't lie." I can't lie.
Yeah.
And that's me too. So
it comes through in your painting for sure. There's such a spiritual kind of authenticity to your creations that shines through, and it captures both the life has its pains and sorrows, and it has its joy and jubilation, and I guess that's why you do so many paintings.
Yeah, the contradictions are always there.
Yeah.
Every second, and I think my work captures that, and that's what people love about it.
And that's why
I am the same way. I'm contradictory like that.
Yeah.
One minute I'm laughing my head off. The next minute I'm probably shouting and screaming and throwing things. Not at anybody, but when I read things, I don't watch TV. And actually, my TV broke. And
hooray for you!
Yeah.
What a
No, I don't.
What a
I don't
bottomless pit, and what kind of drug that people are on that deadens the soul, sitting on the couch and watching TV when there's so much life to see and to live.
I know. They might as well be dead.
Yeah. The Walking
because there
Dead.
is so much, and I'm fortunate that I do belong to Facebook, and I get some people that are very, very tuned in, and they send me things that they know I'll be interested in. I've been called an activist, but I'm not. I don't go out there and march or riot or demonstrate or nothing. But I do on Facebook. I do put my ideas down and my opinions. Because that's the only place I can,
Hooray for
Most
you.
of the time, they take it out.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff that's bothering me lately, and that that shows, and the beauty shows too.
Yeah. Well, it's very...
I just told you. I'm a bundle of contradictions.
Very admirable, because some artists are locked into their own cocoons. You seem to be involved with the world.
Oh, yeah.
In many ways. On top of your art.
You have
somebody who feels deeply. How can they not be?
How can they not?
Yeah. But tell me,
Picasso said that any great artist has to, it's an obligation to portray, what is happening. And sometimes I know people say, why do you do, I do a lot of drawing lately, and some of them are, I just put a drawing today called Grief, and somebody just sent me an article about they bombed many cities in Syria, killed a bunch of families, for God's sakes, instead of what they thought it was ISIS. So I have to. How can I not?
Yeah.
How can you not? How can you not be aware of it? How can you not at least put your opinion out there? That they're all sleeping.
Yeah. Well, tell me, Bruni, How did you get into American jazz? You were born in Sao Paulo.
My father was a jazz aficionado.
Uh-huh.
And since I was very, very young, he had a huge collection of everybody from Fats Waller to you name it. And he introduced me to jazz, I guess I was 5, 6 years old. You know, and he loved jazz his whole life.
And you were still in Sao Paulo at that time.
Yeah, we were. And he would just, I don't know how he would get the records or something, but he would get them. And a lot of Pops Armstrong and all the early people.
Nat King Cole, Sarah Vaughan.
Oh, yeah, Nat Cole, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Duke Ellington.
Duke Ellington, all of them. Yeah.
Louis Armstrong.
Yeah. Yeah, then I went through a phase, you know, that kind of, I traveled a lot. I moved to L.A.
Did the whole family move to?
No, just me.
Uh-huh.
No, I went by myself.
Uh-huh.
Hollywood.
How old were you? Back in the wild days?
I was 18.
Uh-huh. And that was in the 60s, 70s?
Something like that.
Yeah, when things were really,
I'm not very old, you know, but I'm not that young.
Yeah, but the counterculture was really happening at that time. How?
Let's put it this way. I was there when Nina and Janice and all those guys, you know, were doing their thing, and it was incredible. You know, it was incredible, the experience. And I went, initially I went in the early 60s because I thought I wanted to be an actress.
Yeah.
And that didn't last long because, you know, like 2 months into running into agents and producers and stuff, I said, no.
This is not going to work.
No, I can't survive this. And my father, being very wise, sent my painting kit down to me, or drove it down to me, and said, here, go back to your painting.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I did. And then eventually I moved to Mexico City.
Uh-huh.
And I got first marriage, and I went to live in Mexico City because I was told by the person that I could do nothing but paint there. So I did a lot of painting in Mexico City for about 2-3 years. I adored Mexico. And
yeah, the land of Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera.
Yeah, I loved it. Then we had to leave because things having to do with him, and he's not the father of my child, you know. I remarried a man from Guam.
Yeah.
You know, the island of Guam?
Yes, an islander or a military. There's a lot of military.
An islander.
Ah.
Oh, yes, a complete islander, a Chamorro.
Yeah.
His name is Johnny Sablan, and he was very famous for having reinstated, you know, the folkloric music.
Okay, he was into music as well.
It's very good, yes. And the language had been forbidden in schools. So
the
he was
Chamorro.
Yeah, he was an activist too, you know, and he what he did is he went down to the south of the island and talked to the older people and had them tell him all the stories, and he put them all in music form. And that's who the father of my beautiful daughter Christina is.
Christina, you know, we met her, my whole family, my brother and sister are visiting, and we went directly from picking up my sister from the airport to the Bruni Gallery on Lincoln in Willow Glen. Yeah, we met your daughter Christina and saw some of her
she's marvelous.
Incredible sculptures.
Yeah.
She had one there that I really liked, but she said she was holding the price high because she didn't want to part with it.
Oh, but yeah, I want her to sculpt again, but she's, she's wonderful, you know.
She's a singer and songwriter.
Oh, yes,
besides
she
being
is
a sculptor.
A wonderful one.
You know, I hope to get her on my program at some time. I told her
Hope you do.
right now. She says she's not been doing much. I think her was it her mother-in-law or father-in-law
Her mother-in-law
passed away. Yeah. So I hope
It's
to
a
get.
tough time for them, you know.
I hope to get her on.
Oh yeah, she will. She will. She's a gift of my life, you know.
Beautiful young woman.
Oh yeah, and totally understanding of the whole process of art, both painting and sculpting, you know. So
such radiance and joy shining from her face.
And her father, what happened is, you know, we moved back to L.A. from Guam, and he just couldn't take it, you know. He couldn't take L.A. So he said, we're going to have to go back to Guam, and I couldn't take Guam full time.
Yeah, you know? I guess it's a pretty barren kind of island.
It was, in those days, it was very, you know, very...
and there's a great military presence there, too, isn't there?
Pardon me?
Isn't there a big military presence there on Guam?
Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yes. I can imagine
and
now.
I don't know whether that's...
That was then, I can imagine now.
Whether that's a positive effect on the culture of the people there.
Well, they pretty much oppressed them to the south of the island. And, you know, as it's done all over the world now, oppress most anything they can. And I don't mind saying that. If they want to come after me, go ahead. You know, but that's what they're doing. Joe, that's what they're doing, you know? I mean, I am aware of everything that I can that's going on. Including playing with the weather and all that kind of... Pardon me, I don't want to curse in your show.
And then there are these deniers, huh?
Well, because... You know why they deny? Because they don't want to find out the truth. Because they are cowards. They're afraid. They're just afraid to know the truth. Because if you know the truth, then you have to do something about it, or you have to speak out. And you have to work more than you need to.
And you might have to put yourself on the line.
Yes, on the line. As so many in the past have. And, you know, and they're afraid. And so the beat goes on, and they get away with it. You know, that's my take on it.
Afraid to look at the truth, which would then, you know, lead to responsibility.
Look at all the people that got punished. You know, Nina and Janice and John Lennon.
Billy Holiday.
You know, I mean, just speak out, reach a certain number, go above a certain number, and they'll be after you. You know. My phone is tapped.
And who cares, you know?
Yeah, right.
I a long time ago decided that I would rather live free than to, you know, bite my tongue and hide my true feelings and opinions, lest the FBI or some such authority comes down on me. I mean, what is the value of life unless you live it? You know, in an authentic way.
In truth, you know. And unfortunately, people that do that, you know, get tagged, you know. Oh, she's an activist. Oh, that's why she dresses in black. Oh, that's why she goes out at night. And that's not it at all, you know. If they were just bothered to find out that I go there at night, because I am spiritual, extremely spiritual, and it is a lot easier to concentrate and focus in the middle of the night.
And to connect with
the spirit.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that you're not supposed to talk about, you know, but I do connect with the spirit.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you one last little story here.
All right.
In 91, Miles Davis had a stroke. I was painting Miles in my studio down in Old Town Art Center, Sodja. And all of a sudden, one side of his face started, running down, like... And
As you were
Mark was there with me, and my wonderful manager, best friend Mark, who holds me up. And I said, "What? Miles is sick." He said, No. We just saw him at Concord. I said, No, something is wrong. Something is wrong. So I ran upstairs to the gallery and I started calling DJs. Nobody would talk to me. You know who did talk to me? Leonard Feather.
The great jazz critic.
Mm-hmm. He said, "Bruni, don't say this to anybody, but Miles just had a stroke. Just had a stroke."
So there was some kind of telepathy, spiritual connection going on.
Yes, and it continued.
And didn't you have a similar experience when Mother Teresa?
Yes, I was visited. I had no idea when my grandma had passed, on my father's side. And I was visited by my grandma and Mother Teresa. They showed me a book. In the book, they showed me a picture of an African child, which I have it. I have a picture of her. And my mother was still alive, and I told her about it. She said, "You have to paint her. You have to paint her tonight." And I said, "Why?" She said, "I don't know." My mother was very psychic, too. Lebanese, by the way.
Yeah, so you have Lebanese and Sicilian roots.
Yes. And she said, "But you must paint her tonight." And I went...
And this was in a vision?
No, this is after I woke up from the vision. The vision was Mother Teresa, my grandmother, showing me a book. And as they flipped the pages, the end of the book had an African child with a white circle around her eyes, which I still have to figure out what that means, But I think I'm pretty sure I know. And then my mother said, "You must paint Mother Teresa. She wants you to paint her and do a tribute." So I did, and my mother was not Catholic. She was Lebanese and not Catholic.
Yeah. And
anyway, so I painted her, and the painting was purchased by a wonderful friend, and it's called The Visitation, because what I did is I called Brazil. I had a live cousin that was still alive then.
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh my God, don't you know that this is our grandmother's birthday? And it was Mother Teresa's death day." And I didn't know. I did not know. I hadn't been following anything like that.
Yeah.
From that day on, I did a full tribute to Mother Teresa. And when I was in Campo, I had a whole room dedicated to her.
Yeah, you have, I noticed that you have like a shrine, a whole space devoted to Mother Teresa and capturing her in various portraits of her. Mother Teresa comes from my part of the world, former Yugoslavia. I believe she was born...
Oh, you come from there too?
Yeah. I come from the other end, the northern end. She was born in Skopje, currently Macedonia, the capital. But at that time, it was under the Ottoman Empire. I think she was born in 1910. So that was still under the Ottomans, the Turks. And... but I guess most of her life she spent in India, running orphanages and hospices, dealing with HIV and AIDS patients.
Yeah, she actually was the first nun to go out in the streets alone. And the Vatican didn't want to, it took her a long time to get permission to do that.
Yeah,
she did get permission, and she would go out at night and help people, pick them up and try to take them to hospitals. Sometimes she would sit in front of hospital rooms and with the victim on her lap until they let him in, And I don't know if you've read about her life. Navin Chawla has a wonderful book. He spent 4 years by her side. And what she built, this little woman made of heavenly stones or something, the strength that she had.
Yeah.
And that is who I reach for now. When I feel like, oh my God, my strength is going, I reach for Mother Teresa. And I say, please hold my hand. Please hold my hand. Make me strong.
Yeah. She passed on in...
Don't let me cave.
Yeah.
And she does. She always does. Never fails.
Yeah, I think she's going to be canonized a saint this fall.
Oh, yeah.
By the Vatican, Pope St. Francis. No, not Pope St. Francis, Pope Francis.
Too,
But,
she's been a saint all her life.
Yeah. Well, she did get a Nobel for her work.
I know. I know. I have all the videos and everything. I have notes from people there in that little... Now it's a small room because, we had to redesign everything. We had to leave a place that we really loved.
Yeah.
I had a large room for her, but now it's a small room. But I have notes from people that got healed of cancer. I really do.
Say that again.
People that got healed from cancer by her.
Yeah.
I have notes of thank you.
Yeah. I guess that's why she's going, because the Catholic Church requires, I guess, at least a miracle or two before they will, declare somebody a saint. And
but you know something, Joe?
Yeah.
She had already been doing miracles.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of people don't want to come out and say, I think Mother Teresa had something to do with this. They don't want to. I know there were two people that used to drive my mother to the hospital. She came down with MRSA in her legs, and one of the guy's partner had a tumor in his liver, and they thought it was cancer. It was cancer, and I gave him I painted a Mother Teresa for him. His name is Lee, and about 2 weeks later, they came knocking with a bunch of flowers and a card, and he said, "There's nothing there. They just X-rayed him, and he's free of cancer." And I asked them if they wanted to come out and make it public, and they didn't. But, there's a lot of that.
The spirit is greater than the man's technology.
Yes. Oh, God, yes. Technology is nothing.
Compared.
No, I would say a bad word, but I won't.
Oh, yeah, but be better not. The FCC wouldn't like it.
I talk like Miles, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Hey, did you see the new film about Miles?
I won't.
You don't know. That would spoil and.
No, I don't like what they did with him.
Yeah, it's a fictionalized, kind of like an action.
Well, you know what?
Jesus.
He never shot anybody. He never punched anybody. I mean, he had a low period in his life, a small low period, but they took that one period, capitalized on it to make money, and made a movie out of it. And I'm against it.
Yeah.
The man was a genius.
Yeah.
A contributor, like Duke Ellington. I mean, come on.
Yeah. And he loved your painting. I mean, he was not one to deal out compliments too often, but wasn't there an anecdotal thing that I read about when he was stepped out of his limousine and thanked you?
Well, yeah, that story's been changed around a little bit. He stopped the limousine for me. I was at Paul Masson drawing him, and it was like 105. He was playing, and he was in his limo, and he had wounds in his legs because he was a diabetic.
Yeah.
And they had just removed the metal that he needed metal to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see all the wrappings with blood on them, and he told his bodyguard to open the window for me, and I showed him my book. And he said, I like your stuff. I like your stuff. And then I said, could you please sign the drawing? And he started signing on the on the wrong page. And I said, no, Miles, on the drawing. And
this
he
was
pulled his
a
glasses
drawing
down, and he said, okay. And before I knew, there was like 50 people behind me trying to put their hands inside the goddamn window.
The limo.
The limo, yeah. So he said, I'm sorry, we're going to have to drive on. But it was enough of a contact, and then it continued after he passed on.
Yeah, that's amazing, because you melted his legendary kind of standoffishness, right? Coolness. I know when I saw him at the Jazz Temple back in Cleveland, where I was going to college, University Circle was, all this stuff was going on there, the museums, the Symphony Orchestra Hall, and the Jazz Temple was like a big concert hall where they presented jazz music, and Miles Davis, was featured one time. I went to see him, and, he turned his back to the audience, which he often did, because...
Do you know why, Joe?
Tell me.
He explained this so many times, and people just wouldn't write it right, because he got a better sound. He was all curved. He had a problem with his back.
Yeah.
And he got a better sound that way.
Yeah. So
and they thought he was just turning his back to the audience. He was not.
Yeah.
I used to talk to Roberta Flack in those days, and I said, Roberta, he's just a sweetie. She said, yeah, he's a closet pussycat, And he was, to me, he was like, I don't know, somebody that you should look up to. That people should look up to and respect, especially in this country where they want to put all the blacks down, and the people down, and the jazz people down, the painters down. Come on, man, don't do that to Miles Davis. I'm saying that, and I'm sure his whole client's going to be, hating me, but don't do it. Don't disrespect that man.
Speak the truth, sister. Speak the truth.
Yeah. If you're going to make a movie, and you know what makes me sad, Joe?
What?
Is that there cannot be another one now. Once they make a bad movie about a person, this is it. Nobody's going to try to touch it again.
Yeah.
There will never be a movie about Miles and all the music that he 4 decades of musicians.
Oh yeah, I mean his body of work compares to a Bach, a Beethoven,
Well, what's with
anyone.
A car chase? Show people who Miles really was. I can't talk to his nephew anymore because of that. I can't. He's the head of the estate. He okayed it, and Sony paid for the movie, I guess. And Mr. Cheadle thinks he's Miles Davis, but he's not. And I'm leaving myself wide open here for hate. That's okay, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
My truth.
Yes.
My truth, because I feel that I really got to know Miles through 400 paintings, and I went to every one of his performances when he was around here.
Yeah.
And we did have some contact, so I went with the fact that I wished them well, But I pray for Miles every night that he doesn't get hurt, his image doesn't get hurt, you know.
Yeah. Tell me, Bruni, you are famous for the Jazz Masters series, and you have what, over 1,000 portraits in the series?
How
you
many do I have in the series?
You've done
No, on the whole series. Over 1,600.
Yeah.
Mark, my manager's here.
Yeah, Mark. Well, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Wonderful artist.
Joe.
A wonderful artist in his own right.
Oh, he's great. He's fantastic. Yeah. But yeah, 1,600 at least.
But you've also done figures, landscapes, still lives, and what are you currently working on? Maria Bethania, right, is one of your...
Yeah, I just did a Maria Bethania, and I call it Agora, which means now. You know, if I have 3 Maria Bethanias, 2 young ones and one of her now.
Mm-hmm.
I like the painting.
Thank God she's still
she's
alive.
fabulous.
Yeah.
She's fabulous, you know, and she's gutsy and, you know, everything I admire.
Yeah.
And so is Caetano Veloso. They're a couple of idols of mine, you know, because of their guts. You know, Caetano was kicked out of Brazil in '68.
And you're doing, you've done a lot of the Brazilian master musicians and composers.
Oh, yeah. I had a sheet in front of me with all of them. I don't know how many. I did them all. Pretty much all.
And you covered the soul and R&B and
soul, R&B, good rock.
Yeah, Carlos Santana.
Oh yeah.
Michael Jackson.
Yes, I have a tribute for Michael. You know, Michael's. I thought he was very special. Yeah.
And you're doing something on Africa, right?
Oh yes, I did a whole tribute, and I'm still doing it. You know, because it has to be done. It has to be shown. It just has to be shown. You know.
Yeah.
And there's no painter in this world that's going to do it. They don't want to take the risk, you know. They want to do something that sells, and I might end up in the gutter just like my friend Rembrandt here. I have him in my room, and you know, but I don't care. It's you know, it's something I believe in.
It's very refreshing to talk to someone who is bold enough, you know, not to hold back. Let come what may, you know, the truth must be respected and witnessed and expressed. Otherwise, you know, you're a weasel with your tail between your legs.
You better believe it, Joe, and it's wonderful talking to
you.
Hey,
Bruni, thank you so much for taking out the time, you know.
Thank you. Thank you for talking to me. Now, a lot of people won't because of my truth.
Yeah.
Although Gary from the Metro, I adore, he did a beautiful article.
Yeah, that was, I guess, about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, he really got me, too, you know.
Very good article.
Yeah, he got me. And I commended him for it, and I said, thank you. And there are a few people out there that still have a little bit on the ball and are not afraid to talk, you know.
Hey, thank you so much, Bruni.
Thank you, Joe. God bless you.
And you have a good night. Hopefully, the scoliosis pain will not be too severe this evening.
I'll talk to Mother Teresa and light a candle for you, too.
I hope she pulls another miracle. Thank you so much, Bruni, and good night.
Thank you, Joe. God bless. Bye-bye.
God bless. Good night.
Bye.